Welcome to this video. Today I'm going to talk about all the adapter options for Pulsar forward F455 devices. These are the hottest clip-on devices on the market at the moment. They are a successor of a very successful devices named forward F135 and F155. So this is the device that replaced those products. So F455. There is a huge demand for them in Europe, and we receive really a lot of questions about the adapter options for these devices. First of all, I would like to say something about the law. These devices and their use is not allowed in all the countries in Europe, so you have to check your local laws regarding the use and the possession of this device. But in many countries it is, so I will speak for those, and I will speak about the options how to pair this digital night vision clip-on with a daytime rifle scope. So as you can see, I have a whole, I would say, a wide range of different options how to connect it. I would say the first step for anyone who is looking to put a clip-on on his daytime rifle scope is to measure its rifle scope objective bell outer dimension. I will show you a small example. Here I have a Steiner Ranger 3-12 by 56 rifle scope. So it has a 56mm objective lens. And if we measure external diameter, it's 63.5. I didn't measure it correctly. 63.5 millimeters. And if I take a really similar scope, which also has a 56mm objective lens, so 2.8 to 20 by 56, size Victory V8, and if I measure here the external diameter, it's 62 millimeters. In both cases, I see that this meter is 9 or 8 hundredths of a millimeter wrong. So we have very similar scopes with the same 56mm objective lens, but a different external diameter. So 62 millimeters for the size, 63.5 millimeters for the Steiner. And I'm saying this because there are many examples like this. So first of all, check the external diameter of an objective bell on your rifle scope. If you're using the original adapter, so the FN, there are three different models available: FN50, FN42, and FN56. And if you look at their manual, they cover external or outer diameter all the way from 45.5 millimeters to 65.6 millimeters. Three models: 42, 50, 56. How is this possible? Well, together with this adapter, you're getting a huge number of these plastic inserts. And each plastic insert has a label for which diameter it is meant. So you use only one single plastic insert, you put it on a scope, and then it's meant to stay there. So it's not really a detachable adapter. So when you put it on a scope, you just put it on, you leave it on. And you also get a nice lens cover, which goes here. So when you're using it on your scope and without the night vision clip-on, you have this lens cover on. So this original solution works. It works well. It is, however, true that many users don't like its looks because it's a little bit bulky, and yes, you see that the finish and the whole design is not as beautiful as on some aftermarket models. So this is the reason why, especially Rusan came out already years ago with many of their adapters as an aftermarket purchase. The whole story started with Dedal night vision clip-ons. This is the reason why all the Pulsar adapters have Dedal thread here. So they have one type of the adapter with Dedal thread, and then they have different reducing rings for different clip-on devices. They have a reducing ring like this one for Core, for F455 like this. They also have for other brands, for all other brands you can imagine, for Dipole, Guide, Night Pearl, Meopta, and so on. So you're always using the standard adapter, and then you're using the reducing ring in between. And with this, you see, with this ring, you decide on position, then you get a key like this, so that you can tighten the whole setup together. And now you have the reducing ring and the adapter, which work one side on a Pulsar forward. You have to apply some force on it, so I won't do it in the video. And then on the other side, let's say this one is for 63.5, so it fits the Steiner perfectly. Just put the Steiner in, you turn it, and you see it's a much nicer design. It's more elegant, fit and finish is better, and the fit of the rifle scope inside of the adapter is really, really accurate, because the adapter was made exactly for this scope. There is no plastic inserts or anything. There is just a small thin layer of rubber inside, so that the tight is really precise. So this is one option from Rusan. The other option is for standard dimensions, like 62, 56, 57, 58, and so on. For those of the scopes which have really common and multiple scopes that share the same outer diameter, they produce the direct ring. You can see it here. This one goes directly, and it's tight. So if you see, it's really, really tight. You see, you have to apply some force to put it on, so it really works tightly and accurately. So they produce these direct adapters for a scope-like size, and this 62mm outer diameter is shared also with Leica, with Swarovski, with Schmidt & Bender, with Kahles, with Meopta, with Minox, and many other scope producers. So those dimensions, which are really, really common, they're made directly. And you can see it's really slim and short. It's also very, very nicely made. When you get the adapter, you always have to check that this mechanism tightens the objective bell securely, and you can adjust this with these two screws. This screw is it has a locking function, and this one is adjustable, so that you can adjust the force of clamping. This works the same also on the original adapter. It's the same, you see, the locking and then the adjustment ring. Then we come to the smart clip. Like I said, Rusan was the first one who was producing this, and it's still the biggest producer in Europe of the adapters. But smart clip is catching up really fast. The reason for it is that they're really, really elegant. You can see the design is even nicer. The fit and finish is even nicer. Also, this mechanism of clamping, some people prefer it, especially if you use the adapter, if you use the night vision clip-on or thermal clip-on. They also produce this for thermal clip-ons. If you want to use it just for quick observation with your bare eyes, because if this is mounted on a let's say on this Pulsar Forward F455, and you want to just look at with your eyes, with this clamping mechanism there is no danger. With, let's say, with the original one or with Rusan, if you are not careful, this lever can hit your eye or your face. So you have to be careful a little bit regarding this. So at Smart Clip, they also start with a normal thread, which is the same like found on all Dedal clip-on devices. And then they produce the, I would say, reduction ring or converters, like they call them at Smart Clip. You see the thread is really, really fine. So very similar system like with Rusan. It works the same. Just put it on, and then you have an adapter which is suitable for the forward F455. What is also interesting is that all the Pulsar converter rings, or their reducing rings, and this smart clip reducing rings and their adapters, they can all be interchanged. So you could use the converter from smart clip on a Rusan adapter and vice versa. And also the pricing is very, very similar, so it goes down to your personal taste. The same is for smart clip. They also produce for, I think, 7 or 8 different dimensions, which are the most common, a direct ring. What is their advantage is that they have rubber also on this part of the adapter, not only on the external. And why is this positive? Because when you put a scope in, it's silent. So this is the reason why they have an S in their name. So PS or AS, P means for Pulsar forward, and S means silent, because when you put it on, there is no sound because there is rubber inside. But I would say that majority of people buys them because of their looks and the quality of fit and finish. I could show you how, well, the principle is basically the same on all of these adapters. You can also see here the manual. Unfortunately, it's in German, but you can see how it's working. So the locking mechanism and the adjustment mechanism. So when you put the scope in, if you want to adjust the tightening force, you first unlock this locking mechanism. Then you adjust the clamping force here. So like this. And then you have to try it, how it works. If you feel it if it's clamping enough and well, like this. And then when this is set, you just lock the mechanism back to its locked position, and the setting will stay the same. Okay. So if I make a short summary, so basically the original one, it's very versatile because you can have one adapter for at least 6-7 different dimensions. You just need to use this inserts, plastic inserts, and you have the dimensions of the scope written on them. This can be positive and negative. Positive is if you buy a different scope anytime, you just change the plastic insert and it will work again. The negative side is that if you look at these adapters, they're not really that beautiful. They're quite bulky, but they function well. What is also sour is that once it is put on the scope, it has to stay on the scope. Some people normally don't obey this and they put it on and off, and such customers, they come back usually after a year or even sooner because they lost the plastic insert. You know, because if you're doing this during the night, the plastic insert can fall out quite easily. Okay, then normally if you have a standard dimensions of your scope, let's say 62 millimeter outer diameter or 49 millimeter outer diameter, this is for European scopes with a 42 millimeter lens or something similar, then you can buy direct rings, which I think are the best, also the most beautiful, nicely designed and so on. And then it's just a question of which design do you like more, the smart clip, and it's fit and finish normally also, or Rusan. I think that the main difference is in their clamping mechanism. The price is very similar. The advantage of smart clip is also that they feature rubber inside and they're silent, but I think that Rusan will follow soon. So all in all, here it's more about your taste and your personal preference. The price is more or less the same. If you feature a non-standard dimension of your outer diameter of your scope, then normally you have to buy an adapter and reducing ring separately. Or on our webpage, we even have both of these two combinations that you can buy them together, and we will assemble them together for your scope. Again, you come to the same choice, either Rusan or Smart Clip. They are both around 200 euros with a reducing ring, and then you decide on the looks and your personal preference. As you can see, on Rusan, you can find this additional possibility to attach a Picatinny rail on which you're able to put some people put battery packs on them, or they put what is even more common, infrared illuminators, additional infrared illuminator on them. The same option you can also find on Smart Clip, not on this model, but on all new models since, I think, January 2020. This one was made still before. So again, no big advantage between one and another. It goes down to your personal taste and your personal preference. I hoped I explained all the options. I think I did mention that this reducing ring on converters can go interchangeably, so the Smart Clip can go on Rusan and Rusan can go on Smart Clip. And you can also check our other videos regarding these adapters. And normally, if you forgot something and you're not able to find it in our videos or on our blog or somewhere else, please send us an email. We will be really glad to help you. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe.